All right, troops, welcome to the Actual Eat. My name is Owen. We've got the full squad here tonight. So welcome J-Man, John, Charlie, Sean, and Stephen. How are you?
What's
Good,
happening?
how are you?
What up?
Good. So tonight we're going to be paying tribute to the late, great Gene Hackman, who passed away a couple of weeks ago. And we thought, one of his sort of more underrated movies is Uncommon Valor. So I thought, we'll do a stream. We'll talk about that and maybe some of our favorite movies of his. But R.I.P. Gene, you will be sadly missed because he was pretty much my favorite actor of all time. I would say just any movie he was in was better because he was in it. If he was playing like a good guy, he was sympathetic. If he was a bad guy, he could be terrifying. Just with a stare of his eyes, you just look at his eyes, you're like, I would not fuck with that guy. He was so good anytime he was on screen. Before we talk about that, so me and Stephen were at Toronto Comic Con at the weekend, which is awesome. So we met Carl Urban, who of course you know from The Boys and Lord of the Rings and Dredd, the best Dredd. We also met Manny Jacinto from The Acolyte. He was awesome. He's also on Top Gun Maverick. And then fuck, who else? Ruth Connell. Ruth Connell from Supernatural, and then Valerie from The Boys as well, Firecracker from The Boys. So that was cool. So yeah, I was starting to tell the guys beforehand that there was one point where we're about to meet Carl Urban. We've been standing for like 2 hours, and they arrive, and he's there, and Anthony Starr is there. We didn't bother going to meet Anthony Starr, and I'm just going to say this, I don't care if he ever watches this. But we're in line to meet Anthony Starr, and then he comes out, and he's unshaven. He has a hat on and glasses. You can't even fucking tell it's him. And we're going to be there to take a photo with him. And I'm like, that doesn't even look like Anthony Starr. I was like, if I'm going to get a photo with you, I want you to actually look like the person I want to take the photo. I hate whenever celebrities wear hats whenever you meet them. It's like, it's so annoying. I've had that before, and I'm like, take your fucking hat off. Anyway, so we're in line, and I've got my phone. I'm just taking a video of Anthony Starr and Carl Urban. They're talking to give each other a hug and whatever. And then this wee prick, who's one of the volunteers.
Yeah, you're not.
No. He's like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. No video footage allowed. I put it on my badge, and I was like, pointed to press, and he went, "Oh, what does that say?" I said, "Press," and he went, "Oh, sorry, I can't read." He said, "It's just," and then he says, it's just normally with press, they have like bigger cameras. And I said, "Are you going to buy me one?"
Okay, you get sued for that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I will fuck you up. I don't care. I don't care if I get banned from this. I don't care. So anyway, so that was it. Anyway, apart from that, the Comic Con was fine. And we enjoyed it. It might be the last one I go to, though. I feel middle-aged when I'm walking around and I'm tired after an hour, as Steve can attest. It's a young man's game. Anyway, so it's a show that media iron fist. Yes, Adam, amen. Yeah. So anyway, so on to Uncommon Valor. So I only watched this like a couple of times in my life, but I mean, what a cast! Though, like Gene Hackman, Patrick Swayze, Randall Tex Cobb. I mean, it's just like one of the all-time like great action movie casts. Fred Ward. I think I've said this before. I say this anytime his name comes up. He is the best Punisher we never got. I always thought Fred Ward is just my Frank Castle. I just would have loved to have seen him play the Punisher. I don't know why. He just had that kind of military bearing about him. He's kind of a bit sort of like John Bernthal that way.
Yeah.
And I thought he actually would have been great in the role. We've also got Red Brown, which is awesome. And then Robert Stack. I was a little disappointed he didn't ask about any unsolved mysteries.
He's looking for his son. That's an unsolved mystery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, until the end. Yeah. So
he says fuck. Robert Stack says fuck in this movie. It's awesome.
That was weird. that actually took. I was like, whoa, what the hell? Like, what's going on? It's so weird because I know his voice.
Yeah.
Also, Ultra Magnus is one of my favorite characters.
This is serious now.
So like, right? Yeah, this guy. What the heck? It's like...
So yeah, I mean, I love movies like this where it's like going behind enemy lines or whatever to rescue people. It's kind of the First Blood Part 2 kind of thing or whatever. But the first half is like getting the crew all trained up and sort of back into it. So there's not that much action in the first half, but then like the final like 30-40 minutes is just like action nirvana, real explosions, whatever. And I will be honest, there may be some tears of manliness shed at the very end. I think that's acceptable. So just spoiler alert in case you haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, whenever you go through it all, you almost feel like you've gone through the whole like mission with Gene Hackman. And then when you find out that like Frank is dead, you're like, oh no. And then whenever he tells him on the helicopter, and then he breaks down, I'm sort of like. And I think being a parent, I think if you were a parent, it would be devastating. I'll let Charlie go in a second. But does anybody notice now, Stephen? I mentioned this to you the other day. Now I rented the movie from Amazon, and there's a scene just over halfway through, whenever he is told to like get out, basically. And they're like, "Oh, is this our truck?" And they're about to go into the truck, and then the guys jump out of the truck, and it's like a police. And like, "No, you have to get out of the country." And then all of a sudden it cuts and like to the middle of a bar, and then the two guys are like in the middle of fighting, and he breaks them up, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And like, why are they fighting all of a sudden? And then there's this like weird slow motion shot of Gene Hackman, and something just is like really jarring about that editing, and I'm like, it feels like there's a scene missing here.
There's a lot of continuity here. It's like with the machine guns and stuff like that. If you see the ending, like when they're shooting, like Randall Tex Cobb's in the tower, he goes from an M60 to like a World War II era style machine gun. And, so there's a lot. That's the nitpick. There's a lot of that in there.
Yeah, but that scene, just for me, because it was so jarring, because it like took me out, and I said, wait, did I doze off? What happened? Why did these two start fighting?
No, it's a hard cut. I got it off Xbox, and it's a hard cut. I didn't have the original DVD to double check it, but I was like, something got really cut bad there, because he's like yelling at everyone.
Yeah. So wait, when is I've got the movie here? I actually have it on. I do own the DVD of this, but I didn't watch it off the DVD. I'm a snob. I've become a snob since you guys have known me. I can't watch DVD quality anymore. I'm getting close to like Blu-rays are done too. Yeah. But anyways, I was like, DVD. I can't do it. Let me find a gooder copy. So I found a gooder copy. Where is it at? Like where he? Sorry, where?
Oh, God, I can't remember. Is it just
when they?
It's right before they go to the bar. Like before they go to purchase the weapons, right?
It's like 40 minutes in, like when they first get in country.
Mm-hmm.
And they get they don't get arrested, but they get
asked to leave.
And the CIA agent with the worst acting.
The CIA guy. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
It's immediately after that. Like it is that guy gets in the car, you get a flash of Gene and the other guy, boom.
Sailor and Johnson look like they were ready to go.
Yeah, they're like about to fight, and you're like, wait, what's going on here? So
no, it's like that every cop. That's the movie.
That is just a movie, because
they screwed up somewhere.
I mean, it's really jarring to see that, because you're like, wait, what? So normally things are edited better than that, but anyway, that was like the only thing that bothered me. I mean, otherwise. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. That scene earlier, I don't know why I'm getting softer in my old age, but the scene where he's like lying in bed near the beginning, and then the kid comes in, and he's like, "Daddy, I'm scared," and then he just disappears, and you're like, "Oh fuck, oh no," and you're like, "Oh no," and it's sort of like every parent's like worst nightmare. So I mean, the film has that emotional core to it as well. You utterly are on his side, because you feel the desperation of a parent wanting to bring their child back. So there's that. Once again, maybe there's another moment I dozed off. Patrick Swayze never found his dad, did he?
No. I don't think they ever meant. I don't think they made it out to be like he's at this camp. I think he just said his dad is an MIA POW, and I think a little bit is the bad editing, because you could have said he's been he's not at this one we're going to, but he's out there, and
because you never found out. So it's weird that there were like things like that, because you'd made that a story point when they mentioned it, because you're like, oh wait a minute, why is he here? And then you're like, oh, because his dad's a POW or whatever. You're like, oh okay. But we're not going to do anything about it or mention it ever again. Goodbye.
What sucks is he's MIA. He never got to know what happened. His dad's dead, so it sucks. I think that's it. But I think it's just sort of going more for the realism aspect, rather than we all going in and save the day and everything else. You're like, well, in real life, the people were left there and whatever, and abandoned by the government or whatever else. So it does just kind of leave you sort of a little bit flat at the end, but at least Robert Stack got his son back, so that's good.
That is one mystery that was solved, like you said.
A son was. They went for a son and got a son. I don't know what you guys want.
Yeah,
exactly. It's all squared up. Right?
Yeah.
Decent score as well. Was that Jerry Goldsmith?
James Horner.
James Horner. Yeah, James Horner. Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like a classic score, but it was. But it was decent. It did the job.
It fit the tone of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
In the right spots, it worked for every scene. So no complaints.
Exactly. Yeah. So I will say no more than that. I'll shut up and let you guys talk. So Charlie, you go first.
I will go first. This is probably one of my favorite drama action movies. I watched this early on. This was like when Dad figured out that I like these kind of movies, Delta Force, Rambo's, Missing in Action. He showed me Uncommon Valor, and there's something about this movie that just hit me right in the core of my body. I get emotional every time I watch it. I get emotional every time I think about this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I'll fight anyone that has anything bad to say about this movie. I think it has a stacked cast that people have forgotten how stacked this thing was. You know, everyone has been in something. I mean, Tim Thomerson, you know, the Doll Man is.
Oh my God! Don't mention him.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I have always just had an affinity for this, and I love Gene Hackman too. I mean, he's our original Lex Luthor. You know, he did Behind Enemy Lines, so you get him in another, you know, like military, go find the guy.
Yeah, Bat 21. Yeah,
Bat 21, Crimson Tides. You know, I mean,
package.
Just God,
Narrow Margin.
We could all name them all and be like, "Yep, great movie. Yep, great movie." The Robert was stacked. It was.
they Robert stacked this movie.
We're waiting all day to use that. I bet.
Yeah, I know FK. He has
right now to say it.
He's got a little note. He's like, I'm waiting. I'm not blowing them all right now. But and you know, I've probably seen this probably about 5 years ago was the last time I had watched it, and it never bothered me that it's kind of like a slow build at the beginning because there's a lot of brotherhood, you know, with Blaster being Red Brown and Fred Ward and, you know, Tex Cobb, man, you put him in a movie. I fucking love that dude. He is also, he's in Blind Fury. I've always known him for this. His death in this movie is kind of like that. Blasters, you're kind of like you could have jumped in the water, bro. You could have jumped off the bridge.
Every man wants to die that way, though. Let's face it. If you're gonna go out, you got to go out like that and pull up some barrels with you.
But Cobb got to go out the way he was like living his life because they mention it. You know, he wears that grenade because if life ever just gets too heavy, man, you know, then it's not heavy anymore. Yeah. But oh man, I love the brotherhood aspect of it. I love Gene Hackman, Patrick Swayze. This early on in his career holds his own. You get a little bit of that fighting that we get to see later in like Steel Dawn and Roadhouse. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. I have zero bad negative. The editing, but I'm not even going to hold that against it because I get sucked into the story and just get goosebumps and fuck it, man. Yeah. Tears are coming out the end of it. You know, and I think it's Robert Stack's son that is telling Gene Hackman about Frank was there. You were right this whole time. And he had been looking like getting his picture out he says for 10 years. He's been trying to find him. And I'm glad they didn't be like, well, he died last Tuesday. So you're 1 week off. You know, it sounded like he died a while ago. But man, when he
just died, you missed it by that. He just died
His
5 minutes
body's
ago.
over here.
Damn, man, really? Like, he was just where'd that guy go? But again, just nothing negative ever to say about this movie. This is a good comfort movie for me. I just enjoy watching it. It's the better Missing in Action movie. It's not as flamboyant as Rambo 2. Rambo 2 is the action version of these movies. But Uncommon Valor is probably the best version of going back and getting the people left behind. I love it all, man. So that'll be me for right now.
Yeah, agreed. But what is it? It's funny. It's like I find Vietnam movies like comfort movies. I don't know why. I love watching them. I'm sure anybody who's there wasn't, but it's like horror movies as well. It's like like a comfort horror movie, and I'm like, it's like Halloween, the fall. Like comfort horror movies, which I can just watch anytime.
Put your necklace of ears on and just sit down.
Exactly.
Well, it just happened. I got a co-host that he can't stand like action movies that are like people killing people, like what this movie is. He's just like he's like it just doesn't do anything for me. He goes,
that's every movie. What do you mean?
But you know what I mean? Just mowing people down.
Every movie there is.
Oh, the mowing guys down thing.
It's just the mowing guys down. It's you know, just the impersonal type kill of spray bullets and they fall down. That's what he loves horror movies, so he's down for someone like gutting someone with a knife. It's not
okay.
Yeah.
He didn't like shot the other movie.
Yeah, because I want him to look them in the eye when they die. But I kind of get it though. There are the run and gun, and then there's like the real horror, like the real war movies that are just, you know, watch Fury, and if you don't fucking hate war when you're done watching that movie, there's something wrong with you. But yeah.
Oh, there's
Hey Joe Dog.
Dog.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I think I saw it in full for the first time for this stream. It's been around. It's like my dad watched it a lot. It's a dad movie.
It's all a dad movie.
But yeah, it's awesome. It's and pretty much when you look through Gene Hackman's catalog, there's all these great like sleeper movies that like people don't really talk about, but they're great. You know, I love both French Connections. I like Part 2 a lot as well. But
they didn't put English on it though, so it's bullshit.
English Connection, damn it, Freedom Connection. Anyway, but yeah, it's the cast is awesome. I love how this movie goes from like, you know, it's a war thing, and it goes into sort of like a pulp adventure thing. As soon as he talks to that guy with the bird on his shoulder, it's like then you're in pulp territory.
I friggin' thought the same thing, man. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
He teams up with a guy who's like, these are my 2 daughters. You'll find them well, you know, like well skilled, and then like one of them dies and stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's totally like that sort of pulp stuff. But Rep Brown is as unhinged as he is in all of his other so he's like, oh, like he gets too excited to talk about the bombs. He's like, oh,
he's rolling all over the place when he's just describing which one does.
Well, and then when he dies, he does the Red Brown yell like, ah, and he just destroys it.
That's trademark. That's awesome. That's trademark.
I was okay. So when I was a kid, I was aware of the whole controversy of the whole MIA PAL issue. And Hollywood, for whatever reason, took that anxiety and then told these movies of like, yeah, you know, like there's really guys there, and like, you know, and it's First Blood Part 2. It's the entire Braddock series. You know, it's all these movies, right? I think there's a movie called MIA or something like that. Yeah, there's all and even the video games like PAL. Like I love PAL, where you like you're
the arcade game.
That Jeep and all that. No, I think this is the beginning of that whole craze. I don't know of that whole sort of exploitation of that anxiety at the time. There might have been something before this, but this goes all out and it's like, yeah, there really are PALs there, and then it can't, and it's a really like feel good thing at the end. Sort of is bittersweet, right? Because Gene Hackman's son is dead. But yeah, no, this takes all of the tropes of the old war things and makes a brand new war movie out of it. You know, with the, you know, all the guys coming back, and they're all the typical characters that you'd see in the older war movies, right? You know, and they all have a specialty and everything. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a great all-rounder like war picture. It's awesome. And the whole business with like mowing guys down, stuff like that became a trope of this kind of like PAL, like rescuing the PALs kinds of movies.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. And it's like it looks like it was made later than it is. And there's something a bit more modern to it. Because this is like early 80s, like what is it, 83 or something like that?
83.
Yeah, Superman 3 territory. So, yeah, no, it's wicked, and the cast is awesome, and it's like Gene Hackman is Gene Hackman, and he's got that mega, and Robert Stack's voice is the best. It always is. He's like, only you can, you know, it's like maybe you can help solve a mystery or whatever.
Maybe you can save my son.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's awesome.
All right. Jay, you're not going to go last for once, but you know.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so I had this on DVD. I think Steve gave it to me, possibly, because it was the Red Brown Connection. So I never saw it because I don't watch many war movies. I thought this was friggin' awesome. I didn't think it was slow at all. I really liked. I really like assembling guys. That's like Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite. I like assembling a team where each guy is a cool character. So this one was neat because to say something different, I've seen a bunch of these war movies now. I liked where he's talking about the actual POWs, where they're not just sitting around waiting to be rescued. We're rescued, yay! They're gonna be mentally destroyed. They might not even be able to speak English because they've just been so destroyed, brainwashed. Yeah. All of these, I was like, whoa, this is so interesting. I don't think I've seen that in any other movie that I've seen about this topic. That was cool. I'm a movie guy. I'm like, his son he won't rescue his son. I knew his son would die or what. Like, I'm a movie guy. I knew that was going to be the thing. I do love that, and I don't mind. So I watched the scene that you were referring to. I didn't notice that. I just figured it's like it cuts to a scene where they're arguing about what are they going to do, because they're just, that's just how it is. It was a big snag. I like that the weapons get taken away. It's like they set up all of this stuff, and then the weapons get taken away. They're like, oh shit, it's like starting from scratch right there. And they're like, well, we don't have any money. Well, we got the money that Robert Stack gave us, so let's use that. I like going to the restaurant, ordering the guns and all that. Like Sean said, it became a pulp movie right there. And then there's like the big awesome restaurant with like this menu of guns and stuff. That's super cool. Each guy was super unique. Besides being an awesome actor, each guy was unique. Usually these movies focus on, it's just Braddock or it's just Rambo or it's just whoever. But I like this team. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, this guy's the best and this guy's not as good as that guy. Like, each guy had something to do in the plan. And I'm like, okay. And they all had a weakness and a strength. It's like an RPG. This was like Lord of the Rings, rescue the POW version or whatever. Yeah,
D&D POW.
D&D. Like, yeah, each guy getting each guy. That's super could. And yeah, each guy dealt with the war differently. I like showing the beginning, where it's like, okay, they got captured. I thought it was friggin' awesome. I mean, I don't know if we're rating them. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe it's slightly longer than it needs to be, but it really could just be a 10 out of 10 because I really can't think of anything super negative unless I really start to try to nitpick it a little bit, like, this and that. But yeah, the music's good. The characters are awesome. I guess the story's, it's a generic story, I guess, but not really, because the way that they played it out was neat. It's how about it's a generic story with a cool plot. Like, the plotting of it is cool. Like, acquiring each guy, getting the weapons. The story is just the story. Like, well, there's POWs. I'm going to go rescue my son. The government doesn't want to. Yeah, we've seen that. But we haven't seen it done in this way, where I like that. Go back and say, listen, our friend is there. What are you going to do about it? Well, I don't want to do it. I can't go back. Well, you're trash then. And each guy has a different reason. Some guys want to go, right? Like Tex, he's like, yeah, I got to go back. And he's going to use that grenade, because otherwise, why does he have it, right? Like,
put my grenade away. So
yeah, like, so what's going to happen, but it doesn't matter because it's just cool anyways. And I liked infiltrating. Oh yeah, shit, building the camp. Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Like, that was damn awesome. I don't know. I thought it was really pretty damn good. Like, actually, like, yeah. So I don't know. And I'm not a big military guy. Like, I think Saving Private Ryan is pretty good. That's my review of that movie.
I saw it once when it came out, and I was like, I never want to watch that movie ever again.
Yeah, it's definitely well shot.
Yeah, it's a depressing movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's that war movie. That's that.
Yeah. I don't get
depressed.
I'm not depressed at all. I had zero tears.
Say you were.
That doesn't affect me. Like, this movie didn't affect me at all. Like, well, you're not getting your son. What are you gonna
do? Fuck your kid.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. People die. So, but the cool thing is that the movie's awesome. I don't need to be emotionally involved. It's an awesome movie to watch, and I'm invested in the story of what's happening. And then, okay, it's a sad story. That's the story they told. Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you recognize who Fred Ward's wife was? I just remembered because I was watching it today. And it's the mom from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, I never watched it.
Oh, dude, Malcolm in the Middle was a great show.
Oh, yeah? That's with Breaking Bad. What's his face, right? Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Did anybody else notice in the cast list Michael Dudikoff?
Yes.
I still haven't seen him.
Where is he?
I've never seen him.
He was Blaster's assistant. Blaster had an assistant. He was in
when they were at the airplane and they're doing all that thing. He's in a yellow jumpsuit. Today is the first day I finally paused and went. And I guess there's one more quick cut that Michael Dudikoff is there. That's like his first.
Wow. Like literally except for True Romance, this has the most, like every person that has a speaking line, you're like, oh, it's that guy, it's that guy, it's that guy. It's like every single person is somebody who you know in some way, even random people in yellow jackets apparently now. You see that guy in the yellow jackets?
That guy movie.
That's American Ninja right there. It's like, what? It's American, yeah. In fact, he did, we didn't see his part of it. He actually rescued a few people on his own. He did it on his own mission.
He was at the other camp.
Frank's already gone.
I like Patrick Swayze. When I saw Patrick Swayze's name, I was like, oh, what? Oh my God, I didn't know he's in this. And as soon as he showed up, I was like, oh man, yeah, this is good. And they had that little fight on the beach. Yeah, Patrick Swayze would have won if it was later on. If it was 2 movies after Uncommon Valor, Patrick Swayze would have won, but he wasn't as pumped up.
Tex Cobb surprises you how agile he is.
Shit! You're right, man.
Like, you're just like, that motherfucker got his leg up.
He got his leg up. I was like, the leg is up. It's not the curved leg. Because I always say, there's this thing called the curved leg technique. It's a childhood thing that we make fun of martial artists, and John would know this, where they don't extend their leg properly to do kicks. It's like they do these weird, like, because they can't kick properly, they do these kind of like lifting their legs, like, and I'm like, that looks weird. I'm like, why are you not like punching and like, why are you not following through? Why are you kicking and like not going all the way? And we called it the curved leg technique, which is like their legs remain in like a curved position. You're like,
you expect him to be like Ogre from Bloodsport.
Yeah.
That's called unskilled.
Yeah, brute, like wrestling American style. But no, he's fucking got.
He was awesome.
On him, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. You see him dancing at the very end in the credits.
Yeah.
He's like making his legs up and stuff. So yeah.
Tim Thomerson, Dollman. It's like we gotta name all their other roles. So it's Dollman teaming up with whoever.
I have an article ready to post in the next couple of days, maybe this week or next, but I've got it written out, and it's revisiting the Dollman movie. So we've got Dollman and then Dollman versus Demonic Toys. I watched them over the past week. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The crossover you've been waiting for. Dollman, Demonic Toys.
Never mind Freddy versus Batman v Superman. No, it's Dollman versus Demonic.
Batman.
And it's like an hour long. It's like so short, and there's a whole retelling of the first like demonic toy.
So like 20 minutes.
It's like a 30-minute movie when you get
20
going.
minutes.
It's the most Charles Band.
It's just demonic toy.
It really is.
Just before we go on to Steve, just going on to your point, Jay, about Uncommon Valor, the one thing you loved about, and what I always wanted from the Expendables movies was like getting the crew together. And that's one thing I liked about the third movie was whenever they're like getting the crew together. And I was like, that's what I always wanted to do. Is like you get a team together for each movie, and some of them get killed off or whatever, and then you have a new team in the next one or else, and that's why they're called the Expendables. And then they never really did that because the egos wouldn't let anybody be killed off. And it was like great. So definitely missed the opportunity. But yeah, that's always what I wanted. Anyway, Steve.
I saw this movie about, I want to say like 25 years ago.
25 years later.
Yeah, 25 years later. I have the Blu-ray. That's why you ended up with the DVD.
Oh, great. Sloppy seconds, eh? That's the kind of
with that.
After 20 plus years. Oh, Sean, you're the sloppy seconds grand master champion of all time. I'll give you half my Pepsi can. Oh yeah, give it to Sean. He'll take it. You're the champion, Sean. Nobody's questioning you. You're fine.
So I have the Blu-ray, and it does have that editing thing in it. So it's in all prints of the movie. I think
it's fine. You guys are. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was weird.
I didn't notice it at all. I thought it was okay.
As much if Owen hadn't told me at Comic-Con, hey, there's this really weird part in it.
Right.
I was telling him to keep an eye out for it because it was so jarring to me, and I was like, "Is this fucked copy or something?" And I was like, I wanted to keep an eye out for it because it was just weird.
Yeah, I think I shouldn't be next to you in these streams. It's rubbing off on you. Now you're gonna nitpick the shit out of everything.
So we're here.
This movie is terrific. Like it is a 10 out of 10 movie to me. It's one of the best war movies ever made. The assembling of the guys is cool. I love I love Fred Ward in this movie. He is so like subtle, but he is terrific. Like he is the infiltration guy. I like him doing the war game thing where he kills all the other guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Signs on them, like ex-rookie and all that.
Yep.
But just like him going into that sewer pipe and just like him overcoming that fear, it was so good. And Fred Ward was always great about showing that stuff without really overplaying it. So he was terrific. I love the fact his wife is like, he can't go back. He can't, like, no. He's the one guy who's like, no, because, Tex Cobb, he's going back in there, no problem. Blaster's going back in there, no problem. Everyone's going in there voluntarily. He's the one guy who's like, I don't know if he should go. Even Tim Thomerson, he's not doing anything in his life now. His wife's like, just take him back. He's already dead, basically here. So I love how they each have their own stories and they each have their own they each have their own way of doing things. So my favorite character is Blaster in this, Red Brown. I just love how
he's also my favorite Transformer. So that's both in one.
But he's also the first guy to sacrifice himself. His death is where it gets real in this movie. Before all that simulation and it's fake kills and all that. This is the first time where it's like, oh shit, like Patrick Swayze, you see in his eyes, oh shit, this is for real. I just lost someone. It's crazy. Even when the one daughter dies, no one really cares. But like when Blaster dies, one of the core guys, you're like, holy shit, this is for real now. And of course I love Demolitions guys, so I was like Blaster. Gene Hackman is so great in this movie, very authoritative, which is what I sort of think of with Gene Hackman, but also very vulnerable, right? Like the whole thing with him and the kids and like his kid and that. I feel like there was stuff missing with his wife. I feel like there was something more there than was shown. The whole thing with the end, I was not that sad because I figured he was dead as well, but also because Gene Hackman got what he needed.
Closure.
Which was closure, right? Yeah. Like he got closure. He's been basically standing still for 10 years, not able to move on. Now he's able to move on. Now he's able to mourn his son properly, knowing that he's not out there anymore, and reconnect with his wife, which is what I got at the end of the movie. Patrick Swayze is terrific. Tex Randall Cobb, everyone's terrific. Everyone in this movie is awesome. There is no flaws to it whatsoever, in my opinion. As for my favorite Gene Hackman movie, I'm going to say it's Mississippi Burning. He was so good in that frigging movie, and him and William Dafoe just playing off one another, outstanding. That scene in the barbershop where he's basically got Chucky. What the hell's his name?
Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif. He's like eating him up. Doll. He's a doll. Brad Dourif, where he's basically like, did you laugh when they were getting killed? Did you laugh? Did you and your buddies laugh? And like the way he's going on, it's very powerful. Gene Hackman should have won an Oscar for that movie, I think. Anyhow, that's me.
Okay. My favorite Gene Hackman movie. I love Unforgiven. Did you get an Oscar for that?
That's awesome.
Yes,
I'm Here to Kill You, Little Bill. Yeah, I mean, what a movie that is. That's probably my favorite Western, or that's a tough one. Actually, there's a lot of good Westerns.
I watched it on a VHS 5,000 times.
Yeah,
it's like, he goes, you just shot an unarmed man. Well, he should have armed himself.
That was the thing, is that he was so good because I mean, he's an absolute piece of shit in that movie, and yet, like, he looks after like the locals and they're like building the roof and everything like that, and helping the locals and everything. But so like he's human, but he's still a piece of shit at the same time. And I like that. He's not just like this like one-dimensional monster, and that's why Gene Hackman was so great.
Oh no, and like his dialogue with that guy, and it's like we could do a whole thing on that. I could do a stream on that right now. Like, it's like, but he's great in that.
Quick and the Dead too. Like when he's at the dinner table. And he does the watch, and you think he's cocking a gun underneath the table.
That was good.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do a piece underrated gem for Quick and the Dead, because like nobody ever talks about it. It's like one of the best casts ever. Kind of like this movie, like Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sharon Stone. Amazing cast. So
yeah,
Bruce was in it, but he got edited out. He's
It's Sam Raimi, isn't it?
Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Crimson Tide there. Yeah, Adam says Crimson Tide. It's one of my favorite Hans Zimmer scores. That music is incredible. It's so good. Anyway, sorry, John.
Yes. I probably have more love for this. I'm probably the one on the panel that has the most love for this movie. Again, it's one of my. I mean, it's my favorite.
When it came out,
you didn't listen to me.
What's that?
Were you not listening when I talked?
No, I didn't say that. No, I know you love the movie. It's just, I mean, I've seen this movie. I can't even tell you how many times. Yes, I saw it in the theater. God damn it, make the jokes now. I'm
if you've got a trademark, use your trademark, John. Come on.
But I saw this on opening weekend. Sorry, but yeah, I did. Yep. Okay, I'll take it. Johnny, that's my name.
I'm gonna put opening weekend over top of this.
I'm gonna shock the hell out of you guys with that. I'd be like, I did not see this on opening weekend.
You will. I'm waiting
You're all
for
gonna
it.
pass out. You're gonna be like, what?
I've got my pills just in case if it happens. So I'm good to go.
Listen, that's all. I grew up. My parents are great. Like they took listen. This came out in like 1982, so I probably should have even been in the theater watching this if you think about it. But they're like, let's go. But yeah. What do you guys? I forget which one you guys was based on it, but I think it was Sean, maybe. But yeah, this was made like in the early '80s, and people still had the bad taste of Vietnam in their mouth. And this was like one of the first movies where we get the win this time. I even remember Siskel and Ebert did a special show on these types of movies where it's like, we were kind of like consoling ourselves and and putting wounds to rest and stuff like that, because like it was such a bad time. And these movies, we had a chance to get to see these guys go in and do what wasn't essentially done in the actual war. And this is one of the greatest casts ever. So like I watched this movie and this is probably one of, if not my favorite, one of my favorite casts ever assembled. And I was a huge Red Brown fan. Like I loved even the worst movies he ever did. Like he did some really bad movies, like ones that you can't even find on VHS anymore.
Name them.
How dare you?
What are you talking about? I'm on his Wikipedia page and they're all 10 out of 10. I don't know.
Your comes out of your fucking mouth.
Holy cow. Yeah. I thought I was the only one that liked that movie, but that's a rough movie to sit through.
All jokes aside, yours the only one that I get angry about. Or you can say the other one.
We'll fight for that one. We'll fight.
Yeah, we'll fight for your. But.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, and again, Ted Kochev directed it. First Blood. He did First Blood. So a lot of people forget that he directed this movie. Great score, great catch. I mean, listen, and there's a lot of humor in it too. Like I love the scene where they have to get through Wilkes City. He's putting the signs on them, and and Tim Thomerson, he just lowers it down. He's just like, fuck. Man. And Patrick Swayze, I love Patrick Swayze. Scott, I love his character because he could have just flat out said at the get go, like, "Hey, I'm here because my dad's an MIA. I don't know what happened."
There's just no reason why he kept that secret.
But he wanted to earn their respect. He wanted to try to do it that way. And then these guys were just so hard, and they're like, "Why the fuck are you here? Like, you have no reason to be here. We were here." We saw our buddies get blown away. You haven't even been in combat. And then, he has the fight with Randall Tex Cobb, and then he's laying bleeding in the water. And then Gene Hackman says, I'll tell you why, and then from there, they just look, they're just like, oh shit. And then he picks him up, puts him over his shoulder. He's like, you're one of us now.
Part of the team, yeah.
And it's such a great scene. It is. And Blaster's Last Stand, I even did an article about it on my website. It's one of my favorite action sequences. I know in terms of action sequences, it's probably like not the most like bombastic, but you were saying how he could have just jumped off the bridge, but I love it because he was injured, and two, he knew he was going to blow up, but he wanted to take as many guys out as he could before the bridge blew up, because he was trying to take out as many as he could for his guys and everything. He was like, you know what, I'm going to die, so let me just mow the. And it's such a great scene. It's one of my favorite scenes, and I get teary-eyed and again, seeing this for the first time, I was like kind of holding out hope that he was going to find his son, but unfortunately we all know that didn't happen, but he did find McGregor, and Tim Thomerson's great. He's got the best line in the movie. Okay, fucker. Like when the guy's taking on the helicopter and then when he gets shot, his helicopter gets shot, his expression, he's like, holy shit. I'm like, it's the greatest expression ever, and it's got great moments. And like I said, it paved the way for, like again, it's connected to Rambo because, like I said, Ted Kotcheff directed this, but yeah, it paved the way for Rambo: First Blood Part 2, which is more cartoonish in the style of Bring 'Em Back Home type of movies. And of course, you had Chuck Norris in Missing in Action, where he didn't even bleed in that movie. He was just like, I'm Chuck Norris. I'm going to ride around on this boat and shoot my M60 and pop out of the water. Y'all just gonna like it, But again, I love it. But this is the most realistic if you think about it, because these are just regular guys that are veterans. They know war, they know how to fight, and it's really and not all of them get out of it, So it's realistic. The acting's stupendous. The only thing that pisses me off is Michael Dudikoff did have speaking lines in this movie, but for whatever reason, he wound up on the cutting room floor. But they kept his name because I saw him in an interview, and he was like, because he was supposed to be in the scene where Gene Hackman was recruiting Blaster. Because he was his assistant, so he was supposed to be in. I think that's where his speaking scenes were. So that kind of sucked, because it would have been kind of cool to see a pre-American Ninja Michael Dudikoff just kind of hanging out, because he had that really blonde hair back in the day, like like in Bachelor Party. Did you ever see Bachelor Party? Michael Dudikoff in Bachelor Party. It's like whoa. It's like I think if you turned the lights out, that shit like glowed in the dark.
They could have called him Soundwave,
right? Yeah.
It'd be cool if he was twin cast and Blaster. That would have been.
But again, there's no pacing issues. I love the camaraderie. You get to live with these guys for the first part of the movie, and that way you care when the ones that do die. And again, the editing kind of like at the end, I was talking about the machine, it's like that's not the same machine gun. It's like I know that's not the, but it's like I don't care. It's like whatever. Somebody screwed up in the editing room for whatever reason, and maybe they were under a time crunch. I don't know, and they're just like, you know what, put it out. Let's go. It's like, is it done? Yep. Okay. Who cares? No type of thing.
It could have been a reshoot too, and they forgot what gun they used.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. Again, I was just like invested in what was happening, so I didn't. And I've only seen it once, so it's definitely I would have noticed
that probably makes a difference. Did you see who he's not listed as a writer, but he did some rewrites. But Wings fucking Hauser.
Oh,
yes.
Is involved with. So we're talking about Dudikoff and all these guys, but also Wings Hauser is involved with Uncommon Valor.
That's sort of the template for the action movie right there.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he in the movie? He would have been stupendous in He could have been like the really crazy guy, because he had that crazy look in like half of his movies. He could have been like the one that was like psycho and like they had to subdue.
Dude,
but where else are you going to see?
They're releasing The Carpenter on updated like Blu-ray or 4K. And it's like, really? That's where we're at right now? Let's get a redo of The Carpenter horror movie with Wings Hauser.
Yeah, but but first of all, the poster is awesome.
The cover is amazing.
Yeah, I always wanted that poster. Yeah.
But just to sum up, I mean, it's a 5 out of 5. Like I said, it's one of my favorite action movies of all time. And where else can you watch a movie where Gene Hackman says, all right, asshole, this isn't some bullshit ass biker's trip. This is a precise military operation. It's like, even like with lines like that, he was such the great. I mean, if anybody else said that line, they probably would have tanked it. But he was like the greatest actor of all time. That he just sold it. And again, one more thing. I think since I became a dad, it even means more to me, because like what Gene Hackman will go through, he doesn't even know if something happened to my daughter and she was kidnapped, I would fucking form a special ops unit and fucking go after her and kill whoever kidnapped her. I mean, Charlie, you could attest to that.
Oh, 100%. I'd move mountains. I mean,
particular set of skills.
I have a very particular set of skills. I
can call anybody I want with skills.
Right? It's like, let's do it.
Money's no object at that point. I don't know, but I got some hard hitting motherfuckers I can call. Don't worry.
Like, can we hire John Wick? Let's go. All right.
I can't believe though, John, you said Chuck Norris doesn't bleed. Don't you know that Chuck Norris doesn't shed blood? Blood sheds Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, all the memes I got. He walked on water in that movie. I mean,
being someone who hadn't really seen this, I was surprised at the lack of violence. I sort of have an opposite reaction. To me,
blood strips are light.
Yeah, I liked it more because it's a movie and it did movie things, but it was more realistic. I hate saying grounded because it just pisses me off, but it was more realistic.
I know you mean. No, it's going for
say it.
I liked it. No, because look, First Blood Part 2. I mean, that's like a super masterpiece, right? But like but this is a masterpiece in its own way that's different. I kind of like where there's two. This is like a real movie. What I always say it's a real movie. It's not. There's nothing stupid going on. There's no stupid shit going on. We're like, oh, okay. There's no rolling your eyes or thinking this is weird or why is that happening. It's like it could actually
happen. Where
like the guy gets guys together.
One guy in the jungle, taking out Russians and Vietnamese. It's like,
yeah. No, I like when the CIA comes and takes it. It's like shit. Yeah, they're like, listen, you're messing. We're negotiating, and he says it's going to take forever to negotiate this crap. It's been 10 years already. What are you negotiating? Right. And they come and they take it away. He's like, well, he goes, well, I'm not going home. But it wasn't fake. Where it's like. I literally I start to think as a movie, and I thought, oh, here we go. Now the CIA is going to send some big operatives to try to literally kill them or stop them. Like it's like, no, it didn't get that fake. He's like, listen, I'm taking your shit away. It's like, you better go home. And it's like, well, I'm not going home.
And he understood. He goes, I'm supposed to throw you in prison, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Here's
exactly.
What's waiting for you.
Yeah.
This is Gene Hackman had said something about this movie where he goes, this movie has something to say. I mean, the US government didn't want to get involved. They didn't give them the helicopters because they're like, look, this is very kind of anti-government. And it's when you watch it and you realize you go, yeah, it fucking is because you left them over there. Okay. Right. And they slap you in the face with, you guys just did a lot of backroom deals trying to negotiate it, but shit is not getting done. Money probably passed. People probably, got promotions. You didn't fucking bring anybody home. My dad falls into the Scott category where dad was too young for Vietnam, but he served afterwards, so, and I think that was a lot of things why my dad keyed in with this movie so much is he knew the people that served. He's probably friends with people that had served over there, but he missed it, not that he was like, I wish I was there, but he knew he only missed it by, so many years because of his age. And you experience it. And when you talk, John, and when you talk to veterans and stuff, it can get touchy when you talk about things, guys that dealt with, Vietnam, guys that dealt with Desert Storm, it's traumatic for them. And this movie kind of a little raw. It kind of shows you that and shows how little, they said everyone in America treats, Gene Hackman says it. He goes, they all treat you like criminals now. You're not criminals, but they're literally mad because you lost.
Yeah.
They didn't lose. It was the government that lost.
Exactly. Guys, we got pulled out.
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't fight to the last man. They just said, get the fuck out. And that's why so many got left. It was get the fuck out. And it's a bullshit thing. And that's also why this movie is just so, important to me as well. It's like talking about Rambo First Blood, the very first one. It's an important story. It's telling something that other people tiptoe around sometimes, or people don't want to remember. Shit happened, man. And Hollywood can say all this shit because those guys did all that stuff. You have the ability to make these movies because those guys left over there and spilled blood and all that shit.
And you know what? This movie showed every aspect of everything because it showed examples of the family where the family is supportive, where the family is protective, like Fred Ward's protective of him. You got Tim Thomas's wife's like, yeah, he came back, he's changed. I don't care about him. He's not the same man. Fuck him. Yeah. Right? You got Robert Stack, whose family is affected. So you actually have examples of the family. You have examples of the POWs themselves. You have examples of the soldiers, of course, because it's about them, but you have examples of their family too. There's a lot of little things going on, and you don't need very many scenes. I don't know how long this movie is. It didn't feel very long.
Hour 45.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
That's a beautiful time. Like I remember when I was watching it, and I didn't watch it like full. I had to pause in between to go do something. So I came back like, I don't know, an hour after. So I actually paused it in a perfect time. And I came back and then I looked, I just instinctively look, oh, how much is left? It's like, what? That's it? I'm like, oh shit, this movie's like more than half over already. And I'm like, and I wasn't bored. I thought, I just felt like it was fast. But anyways, yeah, all the different characters and examples of stuff was cool too to see, because you never see that. It's always one-sided. It's either everyone hates the soldiers and that's just what the story is. But this one, every soldier had a different, unique story. One guy's crazy. One guy's with, the wife doesn't care. One guy's like, who else? Patrick Swayze's like, I got to go back because I never went. I want to go. So you even have that example of someone who didn't go. Like, why would you go? It's like, well, I'm going, for my dad. So it's like you have a different reason. So you're going for son, you're going for your dad. So there's a lot of cool like connections, and it's short, an hour and 40 minutes. or whatever. Like,
imagine being able to tell a story in that time and being emotionally engaged with the characters and story, and like you don't need to go through their entire fucking life story or have 35 endings. You can just be like, oh look, that's it.
Perfect example is Fred Ward's character Wilkes. You know, he has that nightmare and he wakes up and he goes outside, and Harold Sylvester comes out and Red Brown's sitting there, and he just tells him that story. He's like, you know,
he just tells you what happened.
He was a tunnel rat. He's like, you know, and he was down there, and he's like, he turns out he knifed some wife and her kid deader than shit, you know. And the worst part about it is, and then he's like, he's stuck down there until we can dig them out. How do you fucking live the rest of your life? After that, it's just like, holy cow. It's just like,
well, Gene Hackman even points it out because his wife is like, look, I finally got him okay. He's finally forgetting, and he looks at all the sculptures and he goes, doesn't look like he's
it
looks like Jesus Christ.
That was nice.
It was nice. I mean, I will say, go ahead.
No, how many characters are in this movie? There's a lot. I'm tired of hearing the bullshit excuse of, well, there's so many characters we can't do it all. It's like, you know, they say this with X-Men or whatever other team. There's a lot of characters here. They're all brand new. They have zero backstory. I don't know any of them. I only know the actors. But even if they weren't actors I knew, it wouldn't matter because they gave them characters. I didn't see Doll Man or whatever. It wasn't like, oh look, it's Yor and Doll Man and whatever teaming up. You know, and you didn't see Doll Man. Okay, he's Blaster. He's you know, he's awesome. But they did it with all the characters have personality, strengths and weaknesses. And they all make sense in the story, and they all have something to do. And I remember what each one did because they all have something to do. This isn't that hard. It's not hard at all. For further examples, see every movie. Like,
it's 1983.
Yeah, it's not
1983. This came out. I mean, it's also funny. I was watching this again today, and that opening, I was like, "This. I know I've seen this movie. Why does this still feel familiar?" I swear to God, that's Tropic Thunder's opening that they are parodying. With all the guys in the helicopter yelling at the one guy carrying, you know, the other guy, and I'm just sitting there going, "Fuck, they're doing Uncommon Valor." It's right there.
I've never seen Tropic Thunder, man. To this day, I still haven't seen it.
It's actually really
watch that movie.
I'm not a big comedy movie guy generally, but Tropic Thunder is really good.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna borrow it from the library. I think I may have already borrowed it from the library.
But now you'll be able to watch the beginning going, son of a bitch, this is Uncommon Valor.
I'm gonna look for that now. That's funny.
Yeah.
And it's a great opening. I mean, Uncommon Valor, like, you know, you see the Paramount logo, and then you just start hearing the music, and it's that, you know, like Asian music and stuff, and then you just see the rice paddy, and then the first guy comes out and falls, and it's all in slow motion, and then you see Frank coming, and he picks up, you know, McGregor, and like, it's just, I can't say enough great things.
Helicopters are exploding in the
I know.
And it's nonstop.
Randall Tex Cobb's ready to jump back out of the helicopter because
they're holding back. I mean, they're doing all this, you know, they're yelling and they're taking fire. The chopper has to leave. Shit's realistic. It's
right. And that's a pilot. As a pilot, I bet they were like, you know what? That's a hard choice to make.
It's an all or nothing decision.
Yeah.
All of us.
Either we leave now or we all die. Exactly.
But it got you pumped up for, see, this is the other thing it did in the first opening. There's a point to it because Frank's the one that primarily they're after to you know, they're going to rescue everybody, obviously, but he's initiating this. So you get to see as an audience member, like, oh, this guy's cool because he actually does try to help people. He's not just like a coward or whatever. Like, he is a cool guy. So we want him to be rescued.
Yeah, Sailor says it. He's like, Frank was the best man in anybody's unit. You know, he's like,
but we saw it.
Yeah,
we also saw it. It wasn't a Disney Plus show where they had some dialogue and then I'm supposed to care about it, right?
Also, low-key, I love the scene. You know, we were talking earlier about how long is this and is there stuff to cut? Because there's really not. I even love the scene where they show Gene Hackman aging the pictures of who they know are there, and this is what they're going to possibly.
Oh shit! That was friggin' awesome.
And then the dialogue is so great. Robert Stack has the best line in this movie, where he's like, "I would give up everything for just 1 hour with them."
They threatened his company too. That's how bullshit that the CIA and the government were.
Fuck you.
Yeah, we'll send the IRS after you. We will send sanctions on you. Robert Stack's just like, fuck you.
It's my son. Go fuck
off. I would burn all of this to get him. That I'm a
Yeah,
obviously
I thought,
they
like,
weren't
in a modern script, he would betray them or something.
Yes, Sean.
Yeah,
Of course
yeah.
you would.
Like right after that, he doubles down with those mega stacks of cash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean, I thought, oh, here we go. Here comes Robert Stack. He's going to be a dick and screw them. It's like, nope, he doesn't.
No,
like, good.
no, he's awesome. Yeah,
This is a real movie. It's not a bullshit movie. It's
actually real people. Yeah.
And there's like I stated, there's a lot of copy. Like when they're talking, when they're all mad when they get shut down, they're like, the money McGregor gave us, and then Sailor's put his money down. There's like, Jesus Christ, like, what have you been doing? He's like, see inside.
I laughed my ass off. The funniest part was when they're all eating and the chef is over there and they're all acting crazy. He keeps going, Agent Orange, and then they all start dancing, and he just talks to himself. Agent Orange. It's low key, but it's fucking funny. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean the fact that we're still talking about all these years later.
Exactly.
Very nice, man.
Yeah.
That is approved.
And I love that scene. That's such a great scene. Like he's so over the top. It's awesome. Red Brown was over the top.
He's an excited kid. That's
yeah.
Red Brown.
He loves
movie.
to blow shit up, and you can tell. And then at the end, he's doing. He's like 1, 2. He's like unbelievable. And I'm like, it's just
broke my own record. He got to 10.
Yeah. That's funny.
So great.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're done gushing over this movie. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, I think so. Actually, a complete subject change here, but it's something I keep seeing like websites talking about and YouTube videos talking about. And it's not something that I've come across so far. Has anybody ever had a problem with any of your DVDs or Blu-rays? A DVD rot?
I saw that.
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah.
Yes.
None of mine have done it yet, but I've heard it's a Warner Brothers, early Warner Brothers. Yeah. And they're blaming it on the manufacturer of those DVDs at the time. The glue is breaking down.
Yeah.
It's not just Warner Brothers.
And Owen, I think you own the Tales from the Crypt box set.
I do, yeah.
So check disc 1 of season 1. Mine's gone. It's you can't get past the first screen. That was heartbreaking for me because you can't get like other copies of that now. So.
See, I got a lot of TV shows too that I don't even know work anymore. I have to go through all this shit and make sure it works.
I'll send you guys the I've got the full rot list that's known up to whatever months ago.
Apparently, Criterion Collection is apparently quite bad. Like Citizen Kane is apparently one of the worst. I got that on 4K when it was in the UK recently. So
yeah, I've got Citizen Kane. I haven't gone through them yet. I hope it's like, I mean, I don't know what to do.
But I mean, most DVDs I replace on 4K or Blu-ray anyway. So
but I think it's only the specific thing though. It's not like multiple studios DVDs or anything.
Yeah, it's like when if you have a defective pop can that you just read the number on the bottom and they can tell you exactly what factory, what batch.
But not every DVD. It's like just some of the what. So you might have Tales from the Crypt. That's good. So that's
right.
Depending on when they're.
My Warner Brothers are all good, but I did have a rotted 13 Fourier, which is weird.
I got that.
That's
good.
13 Fourier was rotted. And my dad had a DVD and I had a DVD, and I looked at his DVD, and his DVD was different. You could tell the manufacturing was different. You could tell the box.
So depending on when it was printed.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, if you're not careful with like your my dad cleaned out his like garage outside, and the wooden grain shelves of VHS tapes. I'm going through, oh, we still have that. And you start opening them and like fucking mold, and that's just from you weren't keeping it in a climate controlled area. So that happens to any of them. But the DVD one, I mean, I haven't found one that hasn't played, but I gotta look now. I'm with that list.
I got a lot of shit to go through.
I'm putting it on right now.
Good man.
Yeah, I mean, I had there was a double pack. It was 3 Kings and Perfect Storm, I think, and it never finished 3 Kings. So I can't remember where I got it. It was like years ago. Was that Warner Brothers?
I think it was.
The problem is that every Warner Brothers is DC Comics, and I own every Superman related DVD there ever was, every Batman related DVD there ever was, every DC character DVD there ever was. So it's like I have uncountable amounts of discs I can't check them all, because I own every Superman and Batman for sure, every single thing ever released for those 2 characters. It's literally 3 full shelves. Now I've upgraded almost all my Batmans on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I just got the 4Ks of the Nolans. But Superman, Sean, like I mean those George Reeves.
But I own several versions, and you probably do too. So I don't know. It's a specific window of years.
Yeah.
The one I was worried about was Super Friends. I have all the DVDs, but I just got the Blu-ray.
I got the Blu-rays.
I
got the Blu-ray collection, so I'm good now. Yeah, I got that too.
I'm screwed with Looney Tunes, so I have two things. I have Looney Tunes, the gold collection. Yes. All of them were in that period, and there was an Errol Flynn pack that you cannot replicate. And
Errol Flynn.
Yeah, they're all on there. I checked.
They're on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
Sean, is that a Destro T-shirt you're wearing?
Yeah, it's Destro. It's the
that is awesome. That is so cool. Yeah. Also, I got this at the Comic-Con the other day.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, Steve, you're wearing your Terminator T-shirt now.
No,
he's wearing Julia.
That's what I got. I got Julia.
He's wearing
Julia. Well, it's a VHS, a death metal band that we're friends with. It's He-Man and Skeletor playing with action figure versions of the band.
Nice.
Oh, that is awesome.
They went out of print for a while, and then they did a real quick run, and they didn't have my size, so I messaged my buddy Mike. I'm like, dude, I need that fucking shirt. He goes, hold on, let me call him what size you need. And they pressed me my size and mailed it to me.
Oh, that's neat. They should put it on. Tell them to put it on TeePublic or Redbubble or one of those. It should be on.
I don't know if they had tried, but there was like a Redbubble and TeePublic went through like that big copyright thing where if it even had some kind of copyright character, they would remove it. You could put it back on, but they would just go through and remove anything they found.
My entire wardrobe is from there, and everything is this is from there. I'm pretty sure TeePublic doesn't own the rights to Alien.
I think they did this because they're like an independent band. They went to like Bandcamp.
Bandcamp's good. Bandcamp's good.
Because they did, I got like their cassette. They made a cassette that looks like a Nintendo cartridge. Like
all
that stuff.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome, like nostalgia. They're just their entire last album was nothing but sword and sorcery action movies themed, like Beastmaster and Conan and all that was their.
Are they on YouTube? Send me message me on Facebook.
I'll message you the stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, speaking of just retros, I don't know if you can see. There, I got the shelves there, so that's my. See there, I got my Super Nintendo, my PlayStation 1, my Xbox 360, and then farther over is my VHS player and my 4K player.
Nice.
Because I know I shouldn't admit this, but Steve was the witness because at the Comic-Con the other day, I bought a video game I've been looking for a few years because it's very rare. It is, and everyone will be like, of course it's this one. It's always Castlevania with you, Owen. And it's Castlevania Symphony of the Night for PlayStation 1.
Yeah,
awesome. I played the shit out of that game.
I paid $120 for it.
Dude, that thing is held its right. Take it and put it in your CD player, and you get to listen to the soundtrack.
Yes.
Really?
Yep. It'll play in your CD player,
awesome.
And you can listen to the Castlevania soundtrack. We did it when we had it in the. We would go drive around. We had the PlayStation disc, stuck it in there, and you'd listen to the entire soundtrack of Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
That's awesome.
Because I got my hi-fi there, which still has a cassette deck on it and 3 CD changer and everything. So I'm an audio man in a digital world.
There you go.
So I got this. I'm going to finish watching this tonight, the new 4K of Deep Blue Sea. So I'm going to try and review that. I've got to try and stay awake to watch it tonight anyway, which is the joys of middle age. So next week, I think it's time because I think I know J-Man got the 4K at the same time. We're going to talk Barbed Wire with Pamela Anderson because we got that awesome 4K recently, and I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going to give that a watch in the next couple of days. So next week we'll do Barbed Wire, and then
just to let you know, the 4K is not the unrated one. The Blu-ray is unrated. And the Blu-ray is also region free, even though it's a Blu-ray. Just so you know, I'm not sure if that's going to affect your viewing, but the 4K is not the unrated one. The Blu-ray is unrated. I guess they couldn't get the rights for 4K.
Yeah, and I hate whenever they do that. You're just like, pick a little thing. Oh, it doesn't matter. So we'll do that next week because it's something different. I've watched it in years. I don't think I've seen it since it came out. I don't think so. I'm looking forward to getting a rewatch. Check it out on 4K. So we'll do that, and then I know we've been into that as well. We want to do Abraxas Guardian of the Universe, which will be the week after. So we'll do that as well. I just watched that recently anyway, but it's got Sven in it. What's not to like?
Then
So anybody else got anything cool coming up then?
We're doing Darkman.
Oh, nice.
On Sunday.
Sunday, all three.
All three.
Darkman.
I never saw Darkman 3. So I owned it when it came out and I watched it. I don't know. I really like Darkman 3, so I'm very excited.
I like them all.
I can't wait. Yeah, I love them all.
Yeah.
Arnold Vosloo stuff. We just hit our 200th episode on the podcast. We did Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, nice.
So big fun episode. And then next week we're covering Sisu. So action packed for the next couple of weeks. So having a good time over there.
Brilliant. Alrighty. I think that's about it. So we'll just wrap it up there. I want to go watch Deep Blue Sea now, so I didn't want it just to go on for too long, so I can stay awake long enough to watch it. So, all right, we will see you next week for Barbed Wire then. Definitely intrigued to check that out after so long. So if you're watching, remember, you are the actual elite, and we'll see you next time.